Hey, what's going on, Buttercups? Thank you so much, you guys, for clicking on this video once again. We're gonna go back and do some Singles Inferno videos right now. You know, it's been a while since I've done one. I know a lot of you guys are probably like wondering where are all those Singles Infernos videos. I've been, of course, just reviewing a lot of horror stuff, just random crazy stuff. If you guys ever want to check out the videos, you guys definitely can. But for this video, we're gonna go back to Singles Inferno one more time. Obviously, the season 3 is not gonna be around for another 7 months or so, so we gotta fill the time somehow, right? And for today, we're gonna go ahead and rank all the couples from season 1 and season 2. So there were 7 total couples that were matched up successfully at the very last episode of each respective season. And today we're gonna go ahead and rank all 7 couples, all 14 people, from worst to best. And we're going to try to make this as subjective as possible. I'm not going to go ahead and review anything that happened after the season ended. So if they already broke up or if there was any tension or rumors going on after the season ended, I'm not going to take that into account for this ranking video. I'm only going to focus on what actually happened during the 8 to 10 episodes that was going on for the season for Singles Inferno. And for you guys out there, if you enjoy these type of videos, consider hitting that like button right below the video, and also subscribe to the channel if you guys want. I think I'm up to like 121 subscribers now, so I'm very surprised. I just made this account like like a month ago, so I thought it would be way slower, but all the Singles Inferno people and the horror fans out there have been doing a great job subscribing to the channel, so I really appreciate you guys so much. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. So at the rear right now, rank number 7, last place, I'm gonna have to put, unfortunately, Yeowon and Junsik here. I like both of the people individually really a lot, but at the same time, they were just really just friends. I know they went and selected each other for Paradise once at the very start of the season, but even the scenes that they showed of those two in Paradise, there just wasn't a lot of connection between the two. I remember Yeowon selected Junsik in the postcard at the very beginning, and Junsik selected Gia, even though I never saw him even really talk to Gia the entire season. So there was a lot of disconnection, but at the very end, of course, they ended up choosing each other. I felt like they didn't really have anyone else to choose. Junsik, of course, was the one that selected Yeowon, and then Yeowon kind of, as you know, as the scene was kind of closing, she was about to kind of walk away from Junsik, but then Junsik kind of had that very cute, like, you know, goodbye, and then I think she changed her mind in the split second. So there's a lot of pressure, I think, on her to kind of go ahead and select Junsik. And I think they ended up dating for a while too, but I know Yeowon wasn't all in with him because I remember, you know, she obviously was trying to flirt with Cha Young-sun a lot in the later season, even knowing that Junsik probably would have been a little bit jealous, but she didn't really care because she felt like she'd rather kind of be with him instead. So both of them great people, but I think for each other, I think they would just make a lot better friends than lovers. All right, number 6 could be a little bit shocking. I don't know. Depends on if you're a fan of them or not. I'm going to put Hyunjun and Gia at number 6 because I felt like their relationship was very kind of artificial in a way. So I know some people did like that, like the puppy love or whatever. But I don't know. It's just I always felt like he was really into Gia. Hyunjun was really into Gia. And then when Cha Young-sun came along, it really became almost kind of like a male alpha, like fight between him and Cha Young-sun over Gia. It almost didn't even seem like he was as interested in her, but more interested in making sure I beat my friend in this competition. So I don't know. I just never sensed any like actual connection between the two. And on the other side, I felt Gia definitely for sure didn't really have a strong connection with anyone on the show. I mean, she said it herself that she wasn't really attracted to anyone on the show until Cha Young-sun came along. And then she even told him that he was essentially her ideal type, which I don't know. I don't know why she didn't pick him at the very end. I thought she was going to pick him at the very end. But once again, it kind of comes down to that peer pressure where it just seemed like the more genuine, obvious choice would have been to pick Hyunjun, since, you know, she's been talking to him longer, the fans would recognize those two better, I felt, than with her and Cha Young-sun. So she might have been feeling a little pressure to kind of select him. I don't know. I just never felt like it was going to work out from the start. Unfortunately, so they're going to have to get the 6th place spot from yours truly. All right, number 5. So let's go ahead and talk about this one. And this one's good. This is a tough one because when season 1 ended, I actually thought they were going to be a really strong couple. But then the more I thought about it, and then season 2 came around as well, I kind of look back and I'm like, I don't know, that couple didn't really seem that all there. You know what I mean? So Sehun and Jiyeon, like obviously Sehun was like just head over heels for her the entire season, never changed, never faltered, never even looked at someone else, it seemed like. I know Minji came along and kind of diverted his attention a little bit, but you can kind of tell he was still stuck on her pretty hard. And then Jiyoung just pretty much didn't seem that interested. At one point, she even like acknowledged that she was probably a little more attracted to Jin-tae than Sehun, because I think she might like guys that are maybe a little more mature looking, while Sehun just kind of has a bit of a baby face. And Sehun also was like kind of aggressive in some way throughout the entire season, kind of pursuing her constantly, and maybe she didn't like that. Some girls are not into that, and I don't blame them. And then ultimately, when Sehun had the choice to pick anyone he wanted to go to paradise with, similar to what Zoe had right in season 2, where she could have picked Youngjae for the first time to go to paradise with her and forced him to go, handcuffed, let's go, you're cuffed now, you're mine. While Zoe didn't go that route, Sehun did. So I always felt kind of like, he was kind of pressuring her a little too much. And then at the very end, no one else picked her aside from Sehun. They did have a nice little romantic scene at the very end when, Sehun was kind of walking up that hill, and then Jiyeon was at the very end of it. So I did like that part, but overall, I just, I wasn't really feeling the whole couple thing, and I don't think those two ended up working out. I heard they both like kind of broke up shortly after too. And now we're down to number 4. At this spot, I'm gonna go ahead and put Zoe and Seiju in here. I know a lot of people did like the couple. There's obviously tons and tons of Sejun fans, and there's also a lot of Zoe fans as well. I like both of them a lot. When I ranked all the cast members of season 2, both of them were fairly high on my list. And the surveys I did, by the way, on YouTube community within my channel, the polls I've been making, both of them did really well in both their own polls. But however, for each other, it's a very tough one for them, because obviously Sejun came very late in the season. Zoe was already had this infatuation with Youngjae, so Sejun really had his work cut out for him. He did everything he could, and he did become successful at the very end, right? Because Zoe did pick him at the very end. Whenever those two had conversations, I did feel like they were pretty open and honest with one another, and they were kind of a little chill too. So I did appreciate the relationship they had in that respect, but that can also mean that they could just be friends as well. It didn't mean that they have to have any romantic connection, and I just never sensed it at all. I did feel like Sejun definitely had an attraction to Zoe, but the attraction unfortunately was not reciprocated. I feel like she does like older men, but Sejun for some reason has a very mature aura about him that might have been a little too mature for her. Obviously, Zoe's only a 22-year-old, fresh out of college. She was attracted to Youngjae, who, by the way, oddly enough, is 4 years older than Sejun. But Youngjae does have a little bit more of a younger look to him, which I don't blame Zoe for being more attracted to that. So ultimately, I just didn't feel those two would probably get along in a romantic setting. But I do think both of them will be amazing friends going forward. Oh, number 3, and this is going to pain me, because in my ranking video, I did put Jongwoo at number 1 for all his hard work, his efforts in season 2 to get Sulky. The homie literally worked the entire season on this girl, and a little bit different from Sehun. I think Jongwoo tried a lot harder too. He in all those contests, finally winning that pit game, and then kind of going out of his way to kind of reach out to Sulky, whenever he's like unsure or whenever he's like feeling timid, he still kind of pushed past that barrier, which I was really impressed with. Jong-woo mentioned at one point that Sulky was the very first girl he actually approached ever, because Jong-woo is this type that will be super shy. He's a nice guy. It's very tough for him to make the first move, but he did it and he was successful, and I have to give him a lot of credit for that. However, there are definitely two couples I feel are better suited for each other than those two. Right now, the way that I view Jong-woo and Sulky is that both of them are probably in that kind of young puppy love stage, and not even like that puppy. I'm like more like two bulldogs, kind of like just laying there on the porch together. I think they're gonna have coffee together. I think they're gonna have some fun together, karaoke. They're gonna walk around, have nice conversations. Both of them obviously, can easily talk to one another, which I think is a huge step for a lot of relationships. It's gonna take time, and I totally can see them maybe someday getting married. I don't know. But I think most of the work remaining will be on Sulky's end. I think Jong-woo has already put in the work for this relationship. Sulky will be the one that has to meet him halfway now, because obviously she was the one that's a little more unsure about Jong-woo. So we will see. Time will tell how far those two get along, and I'm obviously rooting for both of them. All right, down to the final two already. Whew. All right, so obviously if you're gonna be ranked this high, you obviously are gonna probably work out. I can see both of these couples getting married, not just in the future, maybe even in the near future. Who knows? All right. So for number two, I'm gonna go ahead and put Soyeon and Jin Tae here. I think both of them are like probably one of the more mature people of either seasons. Both of them just have a really adult quality about them. They don't seem wavered by too much, and they always seem fairly level-headed. Soyeon, I think, is probably a little more emotionally fragile of the two, of course. But she put in a lot of effort to get Jin Tae, which I loved a lot. And then Jin Tae responded pretty well. There were some points where he was kind of making her work a little unnecessarily for his affection, when she obviously was making it very obvious that she was into him. So Jin Tae took a little bit longer to kind of come around the corner. But ultimately, when both of them were in paradise, they had an amazing time together. They really got along instantly. I can really kind of see them as that old married couple from like Everybody Loves Raymond, maybe in the future, in about like 40 years or so. Peter Boyle and Doris Burke, both of them I think could have a potentially long future ahead of them if they keep working on their relationship and keep having open dialogue. I think that was one of the biggest hurdle for them, just communication. And I do think they've made significant headway later in the season to kind of be open and honest with each other, and that was when the romance really started to blossom. So number two, they deserve it. All right, now we're at number one, and that will go to the amazing couple of Youngjae and Seyun. And both of them obviously, kind of clicked right from the start. They never really even considered or looked at anyone else. As soon as both of them picked each other for Paradise, it was done. So I don't think there was any like doubt in their mind that they were going to leave this island together. And they've kind of, I know I promised at the very start of this video I wouldn't like talk about stuff outside of Singles Inferno. However, I do want to bring up the fact that both of them have had a lot of kind of gatherings, group meetups, where both of them are kind of like hosting it on Instagram or wherever, Weverse. I don't even know what other platforms they're on, but both of them obviously connected a lot. They said they talked for like 5 hours until like 3 or 4 a.m. the night of like their like Paradise nights together. So obviously, they're headed to marriage. I'm gonna predict within the next 2 to 3 years, while the fire is hot, right? No one wants to see a marriage like 10 years from now. And Youngjae is already 32. I forget. I think Seyun is 28, I believe. At least on the show they were that. So they might be considering marriage somewhat soon. So fingers crossed for both of them. I'm happy that two of them were able to find each other, and they definitely have a natural connection with one another. So good luck, y'all. All right, that's it, you guys. So ranking all the Singles Inferno couples, all 7 of them, from worst to best. Season 3 will be here sooner than you think. We'll be definitely making a lot of Singles Inferno videos between now and season 3. And once season 3 comes, we're going to be churning them left and right. Every single episode, I'll have a breakdown for every couple, every angle, all the rumors, all the things that we see behind the scenes. Easter eggs, you guys. I want to make a video on season 1 Easter egg. Let me know in the comment section if that's something you'll be interested in. You guys did so well helping me get a lot of views on the Singles Inferno season 2 Easter egg video, which is looking back at the video, I'm like, damn, why do you guys like that? I'm like, it's literally just me like literally taking a video on my iPad of like random scenes that have like terrible quality, and you guys still like the video, comment and everything. Got me to like 10,000 views or whatever. So I appreciate the hell out of you guys for all of that. And thank you so much, you guys, for clicking on this video. I hope to catch you guys again very soon. Have an amazing rest of your day. Take care.
Morgan, I'm scared of you, Morgan.